I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your fair.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So before I get into this video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, who commented on my video, who liked my video, shared my video. I just want to say thank you and I appreciate it, and it's only up from here. Thank y'all for being a part of my journey, and best believe, I'm gonna be coming with more videos soon, so just stay tuned. But this video, as I can tell by the title, it's gonna be labor and delivery story time video. So I didn't record my delivery because it was just so all over the place, and it was pretty much I delivered him kind of fast. He came fast, so it really wasn't a thought of, I didn't really have the time to really get set up and get situated. So we're gonna start with April 27th. I had a doctor's appointment. I went to my appointment and I got checked. My cervix got checked and I was dilated 3 centimeters. And my doctor told me to, at this point, y'all, I'm still working. I work at the hospital, so I'm on my feet 8 hours a day, sometimes more if I stayed over. And my doctor told me, you know what, you're 3 centimeters dilated. Your due date is not until May 21st, and it's April 27th. It's early, so I want you to just go ahead and go on maternity leave. Because y'all, I was going to work all the way up until the end. I was going to keep working, but my doctor told me it wasn't good. It wasn't a good idea for me to continue working. So I made April 27th my last day working. So those next few days after that, I could tell that, it was almost that time because I was feeling lots of pressure in my pelvic area. My baby was already head down and he was already in position and he was ready to come. He was already facing the right way, everything. He was ready pretty much. So those next few days, I was just, in a lot of pain. It hurt to get out the bed. It hurt to just toss and turn. It hurt just walking or moving around. I felt so much pressure in my back, in my thighs, my feet were swollen. I was just at that stage of the pregnancy where I was so miserable and I just couldn't do it anymore. Honestly, I just couldn't do it. And now we're gonna fast forward to the first week of May. I want to say May 2nd or May 3rd. One of those days I had a doctor's appointment. I went into my appointment, they checked my cervix, and I was still 3 centimeters dilated. So at that point, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to end up going to my due date because I done been 3 centimeters for a week now. I haven't made any progress, so I'm thinking, okay, well, I have time. I'm not coming until the 21st because that's my actual due date. Okay, y'all, so after I had that appointment on the 2nd or the 3rd of May, I told my boyfriend, you know what, we got to get this baby out. I'm miserable as hell. My birthday is May the 18th. I want him out before my birthday. I don't want him to be born on my day. I just want to have our own birthdays. I just don't want to, really push it. You feel me? So I was we got to do whatever we can to get this baby out. So I started, asking people around. I started asking people, what they did to get their baby to come. I was posting on social media, give me tips. I was on TikTok looking up, different, ideas I could try to get this baby out. People was telling me to eat pineapples. I ate pineapples. People was telling me to curve walk. I was doing that. People was telling me, just a whole bunch of different stuff, y'all. So everybody was telling me, to have sex. And, that was the last thing on my mind. I was just so ready to have this baby. I was so miserable. Everything was uncomfortable and was hurting. I just really didn't care for it. But everybody kept telling me to do it. So I was like, okay. So May 5th. Me and my boyfriend, we was at a birthday party that ended up lasting all day. By the time we got home, it was late. I say about 9 or 10 o'clock, we, did what we did. And then by 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up with, cramping, really bad cramps. And I just, I wasn't sure if that was the real thing. So I didn't go to the hospital. I got back in bed. I tried to go to sleep. And I couldn't go to sleep for a while. I ended up falling back to sleep around 3. I woke back up again and I just kept hurting. I was back and forth to the bathroom, trying to use the bathroom, thinking, oh, maybe I got to poop or something. Like, no, y'all, these, like, cramps was actually contractions. But, like, they wasn't so strong to the point where, like, okay, I need to go to the hospital, you feel me? Like, they was like mild contractions. They was probably like on a scale of 1 to 10. They was probably at like a 5 or a 6. So I just kept having them like back to back to back. And my boyfriend at this point, he's wide awake. He's like, okay, what you want to do? You want to go to the hospital? Like, what's going on? Is you okay? Like, if you gonna keep hurting this bad, we need to go get looked at. But my whole thing was, y'all, previously, like the week before or 2 weeks before that, I had went to the hospital because I was hurting. I was cramping, and they sent me home. So I was like, okay, if I go to the hospital tonight, I'm not getting sent home. I want them to admit me. So I got to make sure these the real things before we go to the hospital. I got to make sure I'm actually having contractions and not just Braxton hits. You feel me? So I tried to wait the contractions out as long as I could, and they just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So by this time, I'm wide awake. Like, I couldn't go to sleep. It's about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm wide awake. My boyfriend is wide awake. We're just laying in bed, and like these contractions just kept hitting like back to back to back. So I was getting hungry, and he was like, "Do you want to go to Waffle House?" So we ended up getting in the car, and we get halfway down the road, and I'm just like to the point where like sitting down was hurting. Like, I was feeling so much pressure in my vagina area, like really like sharp cramps, to the point where like sitting down was hurting bad. But I didn't say anything. I just, kept riding. We ended up getting to Waffle House. He went inside to order the food. The whole time he's in the inside, I'm in the car, like, cramping bad. At this point, the cramps are, like, at a 10. Like, they went from a 5, 6 to a 10. And I'm hurting bad to the point where I'm crying. I'm in tears. So he come out of Waffle House. He gets in the car, and he's like, is you ready? And I'm like, yeah, like, we gotta go to the hospital. Like, I just cannot. Let's go to the hospital. We get to the hospital. He let me out. He go park the car. I check in, do all of that. You know how that goes. I go upstairs. They put you in like a little triage room before you go to the actual delivery room. They put me in a triage room, and they checked my cervix. And she was like, I'm 5 centimeters dilated. Like, I'm getting admitted. That they was gonna keep me. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's May 6th. My brother, he's graduated from college in Ohio. So that morning, my mom and my grandma had left early that morning to go to Ohio to go to his graduation. But while they're on the road driving to Ohio, they're like probably an hour in, maybe 2 hours into the drive. It's a 4.5, 5 hour drive. And they're an hour or two into the drive. I call my mom, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm 5 centimeters dilated. And she's, panicking because she's like, wait, what? Like, I'm on my way to Ohio. You're in labor. Like, so she ended up getting off the phone with me. She called my brother. My brother basically told her, to turn around and to come with me to the hospital. And the thing about that whole situation is, like, I wanted to go to my brother's graduation so bad, y'all. Like, I never miss anything, like, big like that. I never miss any important events. I never miss any games. Like, is you okay? I never miss anything that has to do with my siblings. Like, I try to make sure I attend everything that has to do with them. So the fact that he was graduating college is a big thing. And, I didn't graduate from college. I graduated high school. But, school is just not for everybody. And I tried and tried and tried and tried. And I kept going back. And it just wasn't for me. So the fact that he stuck it out and he graduated was a big thing. So, I was so pressed to go to his graduation, and I just couldn't make it. So my mom was just like so emotional because like she has 2 big things going on the same day. She has her first child, me, having my first child, and then she has her second child, my brother, graduate from college. And they was both going on at the same exact time in 2 different states. So as I'm telling her on the phone, like, hey, I'm at 5 centimeters or whatever, she's telling me that she's on her way back to back home so that way she can make it to the hospital and be there for me. And I was just like so sad about that because I wanted her to be there for me, but at the same time I wanted her to be there for my little brother as well because I wanted him to have some people, there to watch him walk. And I couldn't be there, so I was sad that my mama wasn't going to be there. But at the same time, I'm having my first child. I want my mama to be in the room with me. So like that whole day, y'all was just so freaking emotional because like all of that was going on. So I got off the phone with my mom or whatever, and at this point, the nurse is asking me, "Do you plan on getting an epidural?" So I'm like, "Yes." Like I gotta have it. I cannot have this baby natural. Like, give me the medicine. So she was like, "Okay, but we're gonna try to stick you and get an IV." Y'all, they could not stick me for nothing. Like they stuck me 6 or 7 different times trying to find a vein, and they just could not get a vein. They could not get a good stick, and they kept sticking me. So at this point, I'm crying because I'm frustrated because it's like I'm in a lot of pain. I'm hurting. Y'all keep sticking me with needles and stuff. I can't get no blood. Like it's just a lot going on. My boyfriend, he's getting upset. He's frustrated because he's seeing me upset and he don't like to see me upset. So like it was just it was a lot going on. Like they called 5 or 6 different nurses to come into the room to try to stick me, to try to get a good vein so they can draw blood and they can get an IV started. Y'all, it took them forever to do that. So at this point, y'all, I'm now 8 centimeters dilated and I still have no epidural. I still have not got an IV started. I still haven't got my blood drawn, y'all, like nothing. I went from 5 centimeters to 8 centimeters with no medicine. So usually when you get that far along, they don't let you get an epidural anymore. So I'm in my head, I'm panicking because I'm like, I got to push this baby out natural. And I'm hurt and I'm in a lot of pain. And y'all can't even stick me to get an IV. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to have the baby natural. So I'm panicking, I'm freaking out because it's not the route that I wanted to take. So they ended up putting me into like an actual official labor delivery room at that point. And they're still trying to stick me. Couldn't stick me. It took them another 20 minutes to try to stick me, and they finally stuck me. Once they got the IV started, they had the anesthesiologist. I think that's how you say it, is coming to the room. He came in there. They had me sit on the edge of the bed and lean over the table, and they stuck the needle in my back. I got the epidural at 9 centimeters, y'all. I was determined to get that damn shot. I was not having that baby without no shot. I don't give a fuck if they said, y'all, excuse me for cussing, but I do not care if they said, oh, you're 10 centimeters. I'm going to get the epidural. Like, I think it's a mind thing because I really could have went without it because I made it to 9. Like, I really could have went without it because I made it to 9 centimeters without it. But I think, like, because I had it made up in my mind that I needed to have it, that like it was stressing me out to the point where like if I didn't get it, like it was gonna be a problem. So they ended up doing the epidural, and then I instantly felt relief. Like all the pain went away. I didn't feel none of my contractions. I was smiling like I was, having a good time. And as soon as they stuck me, like a few minutes later, my mom walked into the room. And now it's go time. Like, I'm ready to push. Like, I'm ready to have my baby. Everybody is in the room. My boyfriend, my mom, my grandma is in the room. I'm on FaceTime with my brother because, like I said, he was graduating in Ohio at that same moment. So we're on FaceTime with him and my sister. Everybody is watching. Everybody is ready. Then I started feeling, like, pressure. And, like, with an epidural, it numbs your contractions, but it don't like stop you from feeling the pressure. So I was still feeling like the pressure of him moving down, but I wasn't feeling like the pain of it, if that makes sense. So I kept feeling like pressure down there. So I kept telling them like, hey, it's time to push. I gotta push. They kept telling me, wait, just wait a little bit, whatever. And then at that point, it was time to push. But y'all, the whole time my water habit broke. And some people think like, when you go into labor, your water break first. That's not really always the case. Like, some people could go into labor and not have their water break at all. And that was my situation. Like, I was having the contractions, but not enough to have my water break. So once they did my epidural, whatever, they went ahead and they popped my water. My water popped, and probably about 10-15 minutes later, it was time to push. And as I'm pushing y'all, it started to like hurt, like not hurt like pain hurt, but like the ring of fire. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's like a burning sensation that you get when the baby is coming through. And like it was burning so bad, y'all, like it was burning bad, like I could feel the burning. And I pushed probably about three pushes, and he was out. And I had my little boy right here. So my labor, like my delivery, was quick on May 6th, and I had him at 9:44 on May 6th, and he was born 6 pounds 15 ounces 20 inches, and I had my little boy. So yeah, the whole experience wasn't, you know, that bad. The only problem that I really had, like the only downfall about the whole delivery part, was just the fact that they couldn't get a good vein, and they kept sticking me over and over and over and over again. I feel like if they would have got like a good stick the first time, and I would have got my epidural sooner, like I wouldn't have felt all the pain that I was feeling. But other than that, like my labor was smooth. I would do it again. Like I want more kids. Not right now. No, I'm gonna wait till you get a little older, but I do want more kids. And yeah, so that's my labor delivery story time. I hate that I didn't record y'all. Like it was so quick, y'all. I promise y'all, my delivery was so quick to the point where like I wasn't even worried about a damn phone. Like if I would have got my epidural when I first got there, and I would have been more relaxed, I would have, you know, had the time and been in like the right mood to record. But like it was just so quick, and like I was dilating so fast to the point where I couldn't catch a break. Like my contractions was back to back to back to back to back, like back to back. I couldn't catch a break. So if I would have had that time to really pull out my phone, I would have recorded for real. But yeah, that's my labor delivery story time, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.